But I'm glad we're here. We're celebrating the new year, 2024. Doesn't it feel like that's probably going to be the last year that we... I don't know why, but 2025 seems hard to imagine. 2024 might be the last one, you know? I don't know. It's going to be a big year. We're going to answer a lot of questions, I think. Like, can a country participate in a world war while also having a civil war at home? I think that's going to be a big question next year. And listen, I am not pushing for a civil war. I don't want that. That would mess with my tour schedule. I would not be into a civil war. I hope it doesn't happen. But also, if it does, is it really technically a civil war if only one side has weapons? Like, technically, you know what I mean? If one side's like, hey, and the other side's like, whoa, like, oh, you were serious. All right. I thought we were just talking trash on the internet. I didn't know you meant it. All right. Anyway, it's good to be here. I like this mix. This is good. I haven't been to Oklahoma City since 2021. Is anyone here at that show? Yeah, all right. One guy. All right. That's what I like. Return business. That's what I like. One guy was like, yeah, I'm coming back for that. Everyone's like, we've seen it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If I had known, I wouldn't have asked the question. But here we are, man. I like it out here. I like it. You just come in. It's nice and flat. It's good. It's like... I love it. This whole area is just like a well-made bed for a tornado. Just nice and... Like, I get why it works here, you know? You're like, oh, yeah, it can just go anywhere right there. It's not impeded by mountains or too many big things. It can just rip right through whatever it wants. Yeah, it's hard to laugh at because you guys live here. I get it. As soon as I said it, I'm like, what am I doing right now? This is what these people live with. And I'm like, right? Wicked tornadoes? And you're like, yeah. Ha 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 ha. What the hell's wrong with this guy? Yeah, I'm glad I'm here. We flew in today. I came in from New York. It was weird. Normally it's a direct flight, but there's no direct JFK to Oklahoma City. I had to connect. So that's always fun. I looked it up. Nobody. Not Spirit. Nobody. That means no one's doing direct business between Oklahoma City and you're like, what? Yeah, I mean, we can get you there. What time you got to be there by? Yeah, we can do that. You like Atlanta? You're going to stop in Atlanta. And so you're going to stop for a little bit. Good. Yeah, we had I don't know, man. People are annoying. This is the time of year where people are extra annoying. This is when people fly that don't fly. And they just kind of stand there, you know? They get off a plane, and they'll just be like, where's my next gate at? And they'll just stop in the middle of the jetway. There's a whole line of people behind them going, excuse me, can you die? Can you move to the side and die? That would be great. I have to see where my next gate is. I'm like, you're never going to make it at this pace. I'm going to let you know that right now. We had a lingerer. We were waiting for the next flight to board, this one, and there was a dude, he had the worst breath. Have you ever had someone interrupt your conversation that they weren't in with just their breath? I've never had that happen before. My wife and I were talking, and then I just, and I looked at her, and I knew it wasn't her. You ever smell some breath, and you're like, I know my wife, that is not her. And it was that middle-aged man breath. You know that breath where you're like, oh, that's from deep inside. That's some long-seated regret and whiskey and an undigested piece of filet mignon that kind of came up. And he wasn't even talking. He was just one of these guys. And he wafted into our faces, and I'm like, ah! And we both stared at him, but he's one of those guys just completely out to lunch, just like, And then we shimmied over, and he followed. And I'm like, what is wrong with humanity? We're driving to Tulsa from Oklahoma City. last night's show was last night's show. It went well. It went great. Tried out a bunch of new jokes. They worked. They didn't work. You know, it's trying out new jokes. But now I'm in this high-end Hyundai Palisade, which I think is a neighborhood where the Kardashians live. This car has a feature, and they really should tell you about these features when you rent the car. Once we got on this highway and we started going straight, the seat just hugged my sides, like came up around me, like a creepy boss in an 80s movie coming up behind the secretary to give a nice little shoulder massage. That's what this just did. It just went, and it just made me go, oh, I need a raise. That's what it made me feel. It's Emma's day to decide what we're doing. She picked Hobby Lobby.
I've never been.
This is where you wanted to hang out. Let's get this over with.
Stop pretending like you don't want to go to Hobby Lobby.
I will be on my phone a lot. I honestly don't know which one to pick.
Look who came around to Hobby Lobby.
I didn't know they had this thing. Look at this. Human anatomy. It all comes apart in case you want your kid to grow up to be a doctor or a serial killer. You remember Stretch Armstrong? This is the new version. You can pull them 4 times. 4 times the stretch.
I love how I'm done.
I'm not done.
You're still looking.
I don't want to be rushed.
We're still here.
I said I'm a big fan of the Hoblob.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's Hobby Lobby for short. This is the Airbnb section. This is what you put up at your Airbnb if there's a pond in the backyard. Let's make it look all beachy. We just ate at the Dilly Diner. Delicious. More salt than you could ever hope for. It's one of the best cups of coffee I've ever had. I drink it black, and it's just dark and roasty and chocolatey. But it's so good to be here. I've been to Tulsa before. It's nice to be back. I like what you've done with the place. I'm a big fan. I like performing here. This feels like it used to be a furniture store. Like you can almost see someone trying out a Tempur-Pedic, you know. The salesman's like, we'll give you a 100-year warranty on this here mattress. And you're like, how long do you think I'm gonna live? You know? Seems a little extra. No one's passing out at a deathbed. You know? Yeah, you 3 people. Everyone else, I'm like, well, why does that matter? Tempur-Pedic's a Tempur-Pedic. Last time I checked. Had a good time. My wife and I checked out Tulsa. We went down to the downtown area. They have different names, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, there's like the big building part, and then there's the other part where there used to be real industry, but now you sell coffee over there. You know what I'm talking about, that area where you're like, oh yeah, that's when we used to do stuff and make stuff, and now there's someone making a latte, you know? We went down over there, we went and ate at Dilly's. Yeah, does anyone know that? Okay. I thought that was it. There's just one guy who's like, yeah, that's a place. Everyone else is like, huh, you ate there? Good luck. All right. I got a real judgy stare from this section over here. Like, he's not finishing this set. He's gonna be running for those double doors here in about 20 minutes. We had a good time. Good food, good coffee. That good, like, jacked up coffee where you're like, I can take over the world. You know? And then we thought about going to the mall, and there was a line, the traffic heading into the mall. We made a last second diverge into a Hobby Lobby. That's where we went. Yeah, it was my wife's idea. She's like, Hobby Lobby? And I'm like, what? And she's like, I've never been to one. And I'm like, it's just a bigger Michael's. And you're shaking your head, and you're right. You are correct. Because I went in there, and I was like, I was so wrong. I've never wanted to own a home more. Then as soon as I walked into a Hobby Lobby, I'm like, I want one of everything. We need a 10-bedroom house with a basement. I need a Nintendo controller doormat. I need 8 paintings of a cow with a hat on it. There were so many paintings of a cow with a hat. And I'm like, that means a lot of people are buying them. That meant they released one painting with a cow with a hat, and the general manager's like, you got any more? Because we're sold out. Might want to do different variations. Maybe some with a fedora. Maybe some with a sun hat. Let's have some variation, because people are getting grabby here in Tulsa for the cows wearing the hats. God, I loved Hobby Lobby. That was so good. Man, they have a giant toy section. I'm 36, but I gravitate to the toy aisle. That part of me has not grown up at all. And it's getting to the point where I'm like, we should have a kid just so this isn't as creepy. That's the only reason I want to have a kid, just so I'm not looking at the toys like, oh, boxing out kids. Like, hey, this isn't... I'm trying to get a look at the merchandise. I loved it. I actually bought a thing. I bought a model car. One of those, like, you put them together with the glue and then you paint them. I remember I had one, like, in the 2nd grade, and my mom got it for me, and then I cried, and she built it. And I remember that's how it went. I opened it, and she's like, how's it going? And just tears welled up in my eyes. I was like, what's a crankshaft? And she ended up building it. It wasn't better. Bless her sweet little heart. She tried. That's not where the steering wheel goes. But I got this. There's like there's like levels. It's like level 1 to 5. I don't know if you've ever done this. And I thought it was like a medium 3 or something. I looked, it's a level 5. All right, it says 13 and up. But no, that's like for like, if you're 13 and you happen to be young Sheldon or something. That's what they mean. Not just I'm 36 and I opened the box and I'm like, they didn't give us nothing. They didn't paint. All the pieces look the same. I was just like, oh no. So I started looking up YouTube videos of other dorks that do this. And these people have tools. They have X-Acto knives. They have one of those lenses with the magnifying, with the light. And they're like shaving this one guy was like, oh, the body's a little warped. So he brought out a hairdryer and melted it a little to form it to the proper. And then he had a file and he had different types of sandpaper. Oh, you want to hit this with the 700 grit. Oh, here, you don't want to scuff that too much. I got 3000 grit right there for the wheel well. You don't want to mess up the wheel well. And I'm just watching this YouTube video in my hotel room with an open box, plastic everywhere. And my wife's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I think I'm going to light it on fire. I don't think I'm going to do any of this. I'm about to call my mother crying on FaceTime. Going, you need to get to Tulsa. I don't know how to put together this 71 Oldsmobile. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. You ever do that where you think you want to be some way, but you know, that's not me at all. That's not me at all. 36, I should know who I am at this point. Just be good with it. Just be good with it, man. Had a good Christmas. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. We had a good one, my wife and I. We didn't do anything. We didn't visit family. We visited family before Christmas, so we could have Christmas just me and her. We had moved to New York this year, and we just had a New York Christmas, just me and her. We got us like little Amazon gifts the night before. We wrapped them and gave them to each other Christmas morning. My wife got me a robe. That's what she got me, which I've never owned a robe before, and I love it. That was a big mistake she made, was getting me a robe. I'm like, you're never gonna not see me in a robe now. If it was acceptable, I would do comedy in a robe. Just come out like Hugh Hefner, just, and I'm in a robe. But it's, I loved it. I loved the way it felt. It's comfortable, but then I got a glance at myself in the mirror, and I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be wearing a robe. I think robes are for women. I think that's who robes are for. They look good on women. Women look good in robes. They look relaxed. They look like they just came from the spa. Maybe got a facial, or maybe they just got out of a bubble bath after they had a glass of wine. They look very luxurious, relaxed. A man in a robe just looks like he got done with some illegal sex. That's what it looks like. It's a little sleazy. Right? Like, you look at a man in a robe, you can almost hear the siren in the distance. It's just a very upset Amish family off to the side. It's like, I'll be leaving soon. I like how people awe at that part. I didn't say what happened. That was your own imagination. You made up your own story at the end of that. Yeah, I think robes are for women, man. Like when my wife wears a robe, it's classy but sexy too. You're like, ooh, maybe something will slip out, you know? I was wearing a robe, my wife was like, oh, you're still supposed to wear underwear with it. Like, what are you? And I was like, that doesn't feel right. It's like wearing a hat on a hat. Why would I wear underwear with a robe? We had a good Christmas. It's a very good Christmas. Got a good robe. Yeah, we went out. We got lost in New York. That's what we did. We hopped on the subway, took it to Central Park, and with all the other tourists, you just went down. You're like, yeah, you were right. We made all the wrong decisions. We should have been at Hobby Lobby. That's where we should have been. Should have gone to Hobby Lobby, taken advantage of the sales. But instead, we went to Central Park, and we had fun. You know, it was a little too much. It was too many people. So we brought a little joint with us, took a little hit. You know, like we're like teenagers in a high school parking lot getting ready for algebra. Just a little something so the equations make sense, you know? And so we took a little toke at the park, and now we're high at the park, which is fun. I like being high at a park. That's where you should be high. You shouldn't be high somewhere else, like the Hobby Lobby, all right? They will kick you out. They're gonna call the police. They're like, this guy's been staring at that cow for so long. He's looking at it like it's a mirror, and it isn't. But yeah, I realized very quickly New York is not the city where marijuana goes with. That's not, you want all your senses in that city. You want to be up to speed with what's coming. Because we moved there in April, and I've been waiting for the moment where like a homeless guy comes up and starts something, and then I get to use my boxing, you know? Like I fantasized about this. I've been taking a boxing class for 6 years. I've never fought anybody, but you know, I hit the bag and the hand pillows, and if you've ever done that for like an hour, you're like, I think I might be a weapon of mass destruction. I'm pretty sure if anyone messes with me, they're gonna die. I don't think it's gonna go good for them. And so I've been fantasizing about this. Like, someone's gonna come up to my wife and go, blah, 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 and yell, and I'll be like, hey, hey, hey. And then I show up, give him a 1-2, give him maybe pivot, hit him with a hook. My wife's off to the side, oh my God. And I wink at her while I'm in the middle of pugilism. Just give her a little... You want a couple shots? No? He's here. And then afterwards we go back and make passionate sweet love at home. That was my fantasy the entire time. And it finally happened. We were at Central Park, and a wild homeless man came up and yelled at my wife, but I was high. I wasn't ready. So he showed up and he's like, get out of my face! And he like spit and it landed on my wife, and I was like, whoa! That was my moment. And my wife, we did not make love that night, all right? We had a long conversation about protection and how I need to be there for her. And I was like, baby, I didn't know, like it was just, that's not the state of mind you need to be in for aggression. You know, like it all happened so fast and slow at the same time. He was fast and I was very slow. And it's just not how I wanted it to start. It's good. And you guys are here for New Year's, which is wonderful. And for the 7:30 show, well, you know? What a way to let us all know. You'll be in bed by 10. I love it. We'll be in bed by 10 o'clock with fuzzy slippers on. Watching the East Coast countdown. Try to kiss your significant other quickly before they fall asleep. And then, trust me, I wish I could join you. I wish. I have a show after this, and I'm not looking forward to it, all right? You know why? Because you guys get it. A good set, like the people that show up to a 7:30 New Year's Eve show, you guys get it. You know what New Year's is, all right? You know what it is. You don't want to start tomorrow with a hangover. You don't want to start a New Year. You know what New Year's is, all right? You've done enough of them. You get it. You get it. It's a new year. It's Sunday, all right? It's a Sunday. Let's act accordingly. This is the show I'm looking forward to. The 10:30 show? Those are people that have high expectations for their New Year's Eve. They're trying to make up for a horrible 2023 where everything went wrong. And they're like, but it's New Year's Eve, and I'm gonna drink all the drinks, and tomorrow it's a new me. And I gotta entertain broken people, all right? Those are broken people. I'm gonna have to make giggle, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off. Because I'm gonna be wishing I was in my hotel across the street, just laying with my wife, just dum-dum, like that's what I wanna go do. But We're doing it. All right. New Year's Eve in a strip mall. We're doing it. This is how it's meant to be done. Not at a 4-star hotel with a live band. No, we want to be across the parking lot from a Chipotle. A closed Chipotle. You guys will never forget the year you rung in 2024. In an over-air-conditioned den. All right, this is getting you ready for the climate change that is coming. It might be too cold next year. You got to get ready for it. Might be too hot next year. Got to get ready for it. Get ready for it all. All right, thank you guys so much for coming out. I didn't know that's how I was going to start. But I just started saying stuff. One more time for all the comics you've seen, and I make it loud for them. We're here. I like it. I was curious to know who was gonna come out. Because I'm like the early show was packed with people that I could tell would be in bed by 10, and which I've been in Tulsa for the last couple of days. It looked like most of the township. If I'm being honest, most of the town would look like they were going to bed by 10. Even just today, trying to go do some regular business. Most places were closed. And I was like, oh, maybe that's for, because it's New Year's. No, that's just every Sunday. Every Sunday is, you guys run Chick-fil-A hours around here. And so I was curious to know who's going to come out. And I like the group that we have. This is a ragtag group. This feels like a meeting. I like this. This feels like a city council meeting, and we're gonna bring in the new year. I like that we're the only thing open in the strip mall. I like that. This is the only thing happening. Some cars are gonna drive by and like, whoa, there's a lot of cars parked. Something going on at the Cava? What's going on? People still getting Mediterranean bowls? What do we got? We got 7 minutes to showtime. When do we pull down the thing?
1 more minute.
In what?
5 minutes till.
5 minutes still, so 3 more minutes we're gonna do this. You can tell we rehearsed this to a T this morning. We were here going 5, 6, 7, 8. Listen, I don't want you to think we're running a ragtag situation. We're gonna pull up the finest YouTube live stream of the countdown. We are gonna project it on that screen, and boy, when I tell you, after that happens, I guess we go home. I don't, just split it with me, and we'll do it traditional, Oh, there's the big screen. I told you it was coming down. I didn't want it to frighten you. Make sure can you put Dick Clark, is Dick Clark still alive? God rest his soul. Carson Daly, perhaps? Who's the new Dick Clark? Ryan Seacrest? I'll take that one. Yeah, good old Ryan Seacrest. If someone would have said he was dead, I would have left the stage. I'd be like, not Ryan. He's the picture of health. But what we are going to do is I'm going to bring up all the comedians and my lovely wife to help bring in the new year. Please clap it up. Come on up, everybody. Oh, my wife Emma's coming in first. Come on up, sweetheart. We got Travis, Cameron, and Landry left. He was the orange fella that thought you guys didn't like him. But don't worry, we gave him a pep talk. He's doing all right. He's flattening your guys' tires in the parking lot. This is good. We didn't plan this out. I got 4 minutes to kill with all you guys standing up here. God damn, we didn't plan this out at all. All right, well. Did you already do the Shawn Michaels thing? I did that, yeah. Dude, I rushed through that so fast because I knew they were dropping this. I was looking at my phone going, I gotta get through this story before they drop the thing. There it is. Who's that? Oh, we got an ad? Of course. Listen, we spared no expense to bring you guys the countdown. Once we're done getting through these Blue Chew commercials, we will show you. Thank you. That was for 3 people that listen to podcasts. Then we will get to the countdown. It's Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande. All right, this is good. 10, 9. I'm sorry. It's too soon. I also want to bring up, I've had a lovely weekend working with these two, but it also looks like these two would have bullied me in high school for very different reasons. Doesn't it? Like, Travis, of course, just bullying me for being short, and then Cameron just for owning a Will Smith CD or something. Are you a big Will Smith fan?
I'm not allowed to get jiggy with it on my level.
No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. You look like you have an eclectic music taste. What is happening? What is this? Oh, I'm so glad I'm filming this. This is going on YouTube. Oh, this is... When I started, I told you we will not see 2025. And this is the best way to bring in the last year that there's ever been. Oh my God, please don't accidentally open your history. That would really change the show. Oh, bless his heart. Here we are. You want to right click on that. No. Can one of the wait staff help the fella out? Here we are. There, maybe that one. Nope. Wait, is that live? We don't know. Oh, no. Don't worry, I got a seconds on my Apple Watch. We'll get to it.
Elon Musk be doing in 2024?
In 2023, the only thing we could agree on is Taylor Swift. You know what we're going to be able to agree on in 2024? Taylor Swift again.
Counting down to the year.
Hey, all right, I know that guy.
Right before New Year's, rocking in.
It's kind of embarrassing to have way more famous people over my shoulder. And you're like, oh yeah, we could have done that.
We are nearly there, ladies and gentlemen. Have you had a good night here at the Sydney Opera House?
It's the Australian
good night
countdown.
At home,
all right.
ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing show we've had. A big thank you to you for being here tonight. To everyone watching at home, the ABC viewers are the best in the world.
This isn't even the American countdown.
I'm just
I
going
want
through
to
the
mention.
checklist in my head, Charlie. What have we got? A whole bunch of
Couldn't have gone worse.
fireworks. Check. A global audience watching. Check.
Who are these
A TV
Aussies?
audience with the best seat in the house.
Yep.
Check.
Thank you to all the bands who performed tonight. King Stingray, Casey Donovan, Brett Perez, Angie McMahon, Mark and Eva Seymour, Genesis Owusu, Confidence Man, Harry Connick Jr., and Jess Malboy.
This couldn't have gone better.
Remarkable backing band. On drums, Brendan Tan.
we got
On
3
bass, Adam
seconds.
Ventura. Our guitarist, Kat Ayala.
It's
and
New
Timmy
Year
Temple.
now.
On
We didn't
keys,
even
Dave
do a
Allen
countdown.
on strings.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Jasmine
I'm
Barrett,
so
Ashley
sorry.
Goodman, and
Happy
Hannah
New
Oliver.
Year.
Our brass team as well, they were amazing. And of course, our backing singers, who were just phenomenal on stage.
I just looked behind the counter. There's no one working the booth. I love
Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? It's almost
No
time.
one back there. That guy left.
7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Woo! Good old Australia. Yeah. USA. 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 That couldn't have been scripted funnier than how it came out. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, I'm going to be on tour all year, 2024. Might be the last one. So, go to zoltancomedy.com, look at the tour schedule. If you don't see your town, sign up for my mailing list. I promise I'm going to try to come, and I'll see you out there on the road. Hey! All right! Whoa! Holy guacamole. All right. That's a lot of energy for a Wednesday. That's a little much for where we are right now. This is wonderful. Thank you so much for all showing up. I didn't know who would show up on a Wednesday, and you guys were like, we're coming. I appreciate it. This is beautiful. I've never been to Stamford before, so it's so good to be here at the New York Comedy Club in Stamford. This is what you think of when you think New York comedy, a mall in Stamford, Connecticut. That's what, you know? When I think of the Big Apple, I think of valet parking in front of the Capitol Grill. That's what I think of. Thank you so much for coming. This is wonderful. What a nice... You guys are so far away. There's like a weird distance there, isn't there? I like it. This is like that's a fall for me. If I go down, I'm not getting up. I will let you know. I got a bad knee. I took a class at the Y this morning, and my wife and I, we signed up at the YMCA, and we took a group class, and I showed up, and it was a lot of older ladies. But I'm not arrogant. I know where my fitness level is, and I'm like, this is going to be tough. And it was. My left knee still hurts. So if I go down, please help. All right? It's not part of the show. TJ and I, the guy you saw earlier, he and I drove up. I just moved to New York City. I live in Brooklyn. And he picked me up and we drove up here. And I don't have a car. That was like one of the exciting things of moving to New York City from San Diego. I was like, I can get rid of my Honda Fit. And I don't have to tell people I drive a Honda Fit, you know? Having no car is better than driving a Honda Fit. Because when I would tell people I drove a Honda Fit, they're like, oh, things aren't going too good, huh? And I'm like, what? There's so much room for groceries. It's a sensible vehicle. But now, if you just tell people you don't have a car, they're like, wow, you're so good. You're a good person. They think I'm helping the environment by risking my life on the subway every day. You know? And so I don't have a car. So he came and picked me up. We drove up here, and the entire drive was a reminder of how happy I am to not have a car in this part of the country. I saw madness out there. I saw madness. We almost got hit doing 0 miles an hour, which I've never had that happen before. I don't even know what street we were on. We weren't moving, and there's a street coming this way. They have a stop sign that says, stop. But it just meant creep. And they were getting so close that I'm like, we should exchange information, at least. They just kept creeping on us. And I'm like, what's happening right now? And TJ's like, yeah, this is how they drive here. And I'm like, I would lose my mind if that's what happened. And then we were on the freeway. I don't know if it was a freeway or just, I don't know. You guys have different ones here, you know? In California, we had interstates, and you guys have different ones that look like interstates, but they're not, and some are, but they aren't, and you have speed limits on them, but no one can go them because there's too many people on them. So it's just kind of a tease, isn't it? You know, they're like, you could go 60 if it wasn't for everyone in front of you, so you're just gonna roll along at about 15. How do you care about that? But we were on some road, and there was a dude on a scooter, no helmet. Which I don't know if you guys have helmet laws or if this is a show your intelligence state. But no helmet on a scooter, not a motorcycle, a scooter. So he's extra tough. Like, I don't even think scooters are allowed on the interstate. I think you're supposed to ride those on sidewalks to deliver soup. Like, I think that's what those are made for. This guy's on the interstate in a scooter, no helmet, ass crack sticking out. A lot of it, all right? A lot of it. Like, enough that I was about to talk about it until I realized what he was doing. He stopped on the freeway because things were going slow enough. And he picked up a rock. And he took off to chase another vehicle that he was apparently in a road rage situation with. And this car was trying to get away from this ass-crack scooter. And he's just waving a rock. And TJ didn't say anything about it, which scared the hell out of me. Because that let me know this is just Wednesday. That's what that let me know. I think he just kind of looked at me. He's like, I'm glad it's not a gun. And I'm like, it gets worse? Man. It's pretty impressive when you have no helmet on a scooter on the interstate and 2 feet of your ass crack is sticking out. And that's not the weirdest thing that happened. It's like, what about that rock he's about to bludgeon that person with? I like it. I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to fit into big city living. I grew up in the suburbs of San Diego in a trailer park, which I don't know if you guys have trailer parks out here. I haven't seen any. But it's different. It's different, and I'm trying to get used to not reacting to every noise I hear. Like, I've noticed that if you walk around the city and you hear someone just yell, ah! You don't have to look. You don't have to stop what you're doing and go, huh? That's like a really big lesson to learn, you know? If someone's just like, hey! You don't have to look at that. You don't have to look and make eye contact with the last person you've ever wanted to make eye contact with. Because I'm the worst. Once I make eye contact, I can't break eye contact. I have that disorder, whatever that is. If I make eye contact with somebody, I'm like, we're in this now. Hey! And I'm like, I want to break away, but I can't. I don't know what that part is. Why can't I break eye contact once I've gotten in? I don't know. It's weird. It's dangerous, but it's exciting. I like it. I like a little bit of excitement. It feels good. California, what's happening out there? A fire? Ah. You see that coming, you know? On the subway, you're like, ugh. Might get shoved. I might jump. Don't know. That was a little dark. I apologize. You guys are like, why don't you temper it down? It's Wednesday. But yeah, I like it. There's good camaraderie in the city. I feel like there's an understanding. I feel like there's a good community there. I feel like there is. Like, we were on the train. I did a show, and I was on the train home, and there was a wild man that got on the train. I don't know the new term, so I apologize. I know the one I think it is, but I'm probably wrong, because they always change the term. And so I'm just going to make up my own, all right? I'm going to take a guess. It's probably going to be the next term, all right? He was mentally spectacular. He came on... I actually think that might be the next term. I think I'm ahead of the game. That's not even offensive. It's half a compliment if you think about it. A mentally spectacular man came on the train, and he built into a rage. Like, he was fine in the beginning, and he crescendoed into a monster truck announcer. And it started slow. It started with, ah! You know, like that on a silent car, you're like, and no one looked but me, because I haven't learned not to look, you know. I just heard, ah, and I went, and we made eye contact, and I'm like, damn it. And then I tried to break eye contact, but he had me. But then he broke eye contact, which I'm like, is that a win for me? How does that work? Did I just intimidate him? Hell yeah. I got way more testosterone than I think, you know. I was in that state of mind, and then he broke eye contact and went, ah! And slowly he just built to a fervor and just started fighting ghosts. I don't know what he was doing. He chokeslammed a ghost that didn't exist. I watched him do it, and I was like, that was a picture-perfect chokeslam. Like, if we actually sat down and talked, I think we'd both be wrestling fans. You know, I think we have something to connect on. But here's where I felt the sense of community. There's like 8 of us on the train, and him. And while he was doing his thing, me and this elderly Asian man just kind of we had a moment. And we looked at each other and we just had a moment like, I got you, you know? I was like, I could tell, we didn't even raise an eyebrow. It was just I was like, if something happens, I got you. If something happens, you got me. Like, I felt that understanding. And I'm like, this is the kind of community I was looking to get into. And then at the next stop, he got off. And I'm like, you traitor! You're supposed to get off at 7th. I got more stops. You left me with the crescendo. So that's what it's been out there. It's been, you know, it's been good. Going to the YMCA, working out with the elderly ladies, and it's good. I don't have the knees for it. I don't know. It's been good. I just got married, which I'm really excited about. Yeah. Got the old... It's always... Men never show off the wedding ring. It's always the women, because there's a lot to it. And men, we have stupid fingers. No man has ever had good fingers. Women have beautiful fingers, and they just look good, you know, for fingers. You know, no one ever thinks a finger's beautiful until you see a man's fingers, and you're like, oh, you got a hair? How'd you get a hair out of that? What kind of burnout? What happened to your nails? Did you lose that nail? Like, there's every man's fingers look like they were in a horrible woodshop accident in high school, and sometimes the fingers don't match. It's bad, you know? No one ever shows off the phalanges. And that's the other word for fingers. Sorry, I'm not trying to flex my high school education on you guys, but I heard phalanges once, and it felt appropriate to drop. We got married. That's what I was talking about. We eloped to Italy, which was how we got married. Yeah, we eloped. If you don't know what an elopement is, that's when you realize you can have way more fun at your wedding if nobody comes. That's what an elopement is. That's when you crunch the numbers and you realize, oh my God, if nobody comes, we can go to Italy. if we don't have to feed and drink everybody, we can go to Italy, and then we weighed our love for our family against a trip to Italy, and we're like, au revoir, you know? Which that's not even Italian, but it doesn't matter because they're not coming anyway, you know? You'll find out on another trip. So we went to Italy, we got married in Venice, in a empty square at sunrise. We had to wake up early because we didn't want the tourists in our photos. We wanted it to look like we rented out Venice. And you can do that, but you gotta get your ass up at 5 a.m. to do that. And so it was just us and like one janitor sweeping. And we got married. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I loved Italy. Italy is the people. They're so vibrant, and there's no shy people in Italy. Everyone's very It's all the caricatures that you ever thought of. They're all there. It's wonderful to see. I even saw an old couple in Florence get into an argument, and they got into in the street, just a full-on and then she's like and then he grabbed her and shook her. He actually shook her, and her head went, and her sunglasses fell off, and she broke away and ran. And it was weird because it was domestic violence, but it was in Italian, so you know what I mean. It was kind of beautiful. It was like we were at the opera, and I'm like, don't call the police. There's a second act. We don't know how this is gonna end. You know, it was just the culture. You know. It's a dumb joke, I agree, but that's what I felt. My wife was like, that is so horrible. I'm like, but it's art, you know? Art comes from this. This is good. You see that in Connecticut, you call the cops. You see that in Florence, you're like, let's see where this goes. And it's so beautiful. We don't have beautiful stuff like that. No, we do, but it's different. It's got an air of grunge to it, you know? I like the East Coast. Maybe it's because I'm new. Maybe in 6 more months I'll be like, I hate it here and I'm moving back. You know, but I like it. It's just New York City feels like it's a cat. It's pretty much what it is, you know? It's just like a cat. It doesn't need you around. It doesn't necessarily want you around. But if you work hard enough, it might tolerate you. You know? It's exactly what the city is. It doesn't need you. It'll be fine if you never come. But if you work really hard, you might be able to sit on the couch and not be clawed in the face. It's a little bit right there. But yeah, my wife and I think we're a good match. I know we are, but I also say think because I always want to hedge my bets. You know, we're a good match because I realize together we make a whole person. I think separately, I don't think we should be allowed to vote, but together, there's like a normal person. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes a good relationship. Not two complete people getting together. Two broken, missing people. But you have to be missing the right things. You have to be missing the things that the other person has so you can kind of fit together like a broken puzzle piece that you're like, it's gonna work. You know? That's what it is. Like, here's my example. Like, my wife is a hypochondriac. Every morning she wakes up with a brand new disease. And that's fun, unless you're me. It's pretty wild. Every morning she'll just be like, what's that? Do you hear that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, that, do you hear that? And she'll hold her wrist to my ear. And she's like, do you hear that? And I'm like, kinda. And she's like, was that there yesterday? I'm like, I don't know, we didn't do this yesterday. I don't have yesterday's wrist noises to compare to today's wrist noises. And she's like, oh, you never listen. And then she leaves. And after like 3 hours of Googling, she comes back and she's like, it's wrist cancer. And I'm like, obviously, you know, what else could it be? So that's who she is. My wife's a hypochondriac. And me, I've had a pain in my left testicle for about 6 years. And I've just been riding that out, you know? See what I mean? Like, separately, but together you're like, okay, yeah, there's like a normal person in between them. And she's like, you should get that testicle checked out. I'm like, all right, but shut up about your wrist, you know? And I actually tried in February to get health insurance to get this checked out. And because here's the reason I never got it checked out. I have a 7-day rule. That's a personal rule. If something hurts on my body, I give it 7 days. And if it still hurts, I'll go to the doctor and get it checked out. The problem with this testicle pain is it would come for like 2, 3, 4 days. And then it would stop. And then come back like a couple weeks later, and I would start my clock over again. And it was just this year I realized I've been doing that since 2017. So And she's like, you should get it checked out. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. And so I tried to get health insurance in February. And did you know you can't? Did you know there's a time limit? You guys you've been insured your entire lives. I just let some big cat out of the bag, didn't I? You guys were like, no, we live respectable lives. I've been insured since I was a mere child. On the docks of I don't know. I don't know where the docks are here. I was gonna guess a town. Hamptons or something. You're not giving me any clues. All right. But yeah, I'll let you know if you can't just get health insurance whenever, and I didn't know that. I did not know that, so I called like an idiot, and I was like, hello, one health insurance, please. And they were like, what? You missed it. And I'm like, missed the health insurance? And they're like, yeah, there's open enrollment from Thanksgiving till the end of January. You missed it. And I'm like, but my testicle hurts now. I don't think you understand. Like, what do you mean open enrollment? She's like, yeah, didn't you see the commercials? I'm like, yeah, I saw the commercials, but you know what else has commercials around January? Gyms. And they're all like, come on in. You can sign up for a discount. That doesn't mean you can't get a gym membership in the summer. That just means you can get it cheaper in January. That's all that means. And they're like, no, this one was a real one. Like, it's closed enrollment. And I'm like, but I got a dull toothache in my left nut. We got to figure this out. And she's like, I don't know how to help you. And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe we can start by not treating health insurance like a pumpkin spice latte where you just have it seasonally. Come on, you know? This is America. Like, as an American, that gets me in the patriotic bones. Like, we don't treat anything else like that. Like, if I was like, hey, I'm going to buy an iPhone tomorrow, and you guys are like, in May? You can't buy an iPhone in May. You got to wait till Labor Day weekend. Everybody knows that. Summer solstice. That's when you get iPhones. This is America. You should be able to get it whenever you want. And I told my wife that, and she's a hypochondriac, so she's immediately like, oh my God, what if they got to cut it off? And I'm like, why would that be the first thing you say? Why would you go to the worst possible conclusion when you know I can't make an appointment for 9 more months? Why would you take it to the moon? And she goes, what if? And I'm like, I don't know, what if? And she's like, well, do they put another one in there? And I'm like, I hope. I don't think they'd let me leave with half a grocery bag. Just throw me into the streets off balance, you know? It'd be horrible. So, I had just got it checked out last Monday. My wife made an appointment. She's like, this is dumb. You don't need insurance. You're going to pay for it. Like a real American. And I'm like, what if it's too much? She's like, you're going to go into debt like a real American. And I was like, okay. And she made an appointment with this guy. I'm not making up his name. His name is Dr. Zoltan. His name is Dr. Zoltan. He's a urologist in New York City. And she told me, and I'm like, you picked because of the name, right? She's like, she's like, it's fate. And I'm like, I don't think you know what fate means. But, and she even called to confirm my appointment while I was on the road. And she goes, I called to confirm your appointment. And the receptionist goes, Zoltan is all set to see Dr. Zoltan. And she giggled a little, and I was like, of course. She's like, don't worry, it's not going to be awkward. You guys will laugh too. And I'm like, yeah, obviously. We're just 2 Zoltans. Just, here are my genitals. You know? I was like, when do you show them off? You know, do you wait for the laughter to die down? I've never done this before. I've never been in a situation where I'm about to show my junk, and there's just been tithering. That's usually not what makes me feel confident, to disrobe. But I went in to see Dr. Zoltan, and I just went in and got naked. My wife came in with me, which I tried to fight her on. And I'm like, let me just go in. And she's like, why? What's the problem if because it feels like when my mom used to come in, you know, to the doctor's office. Don't forget to tell him about the dull toothache in your left nut. And I'm like, that's why we're here, sweetheart. Like This is why we made the appointment. And she was there, and I just put my back to her. I'm like, I don't want you to watch I don't want you to watch this is private, you know? So I'm over there, and I just pulled my pen, and I'm just holding, and he gets down there, and he starts doing his thing. And he's like, I think you're good. And it's so funny because he knew the answer I wanted to hear. He knows what I want. It's the same answer hopefully you guys want to hear if you like me enough. You don't want it to be cancer. That's the only thing you want. And he just goes, oh, okay, I think you have a swollen vein going into this testicle. And I'm like, okay. And he's just like, yeah, we'll get a thing to check that out. And he just says more doctor words. And then finally I'm like, come on, man. Is it cancer? And he goes, no. And I'm like, say that first. That should be the first thing you say. You should go, it's not cancer. And I'd be like, hell, get off me. You know, I don't even care what it is now. As long as it's not that, get the hell off me. There's money on the nightstand, Dr. Zoltan. Get off of me. And I had to go back to do an ultrasound. They do I didn't know that. They do ultrasounds if you're pregnant to see the baby, but they also do it for other things like this. And I didn't know that, so I went back, and it wasn't Dr. Zoltan giving me the ultrasound because they have an ultrasound technician, and it was a lady, and it was a lady that kind of resembled my mother, which I didn't know how to feel about that because I'm like, yay, but no. You know, like I'd rather it be a dude, but at the same time, you're like, I don't want it to be anyone that looks like anyone I've ever known. I just want it to be a person without a face. Do you have any urologists without a face? Do you have any of those that just come in, no face and no personality, just a robot, that blah, blah, blah. And then they squirt this jelly on you, and I'm just laying there. And she was so professional. She just looked straight ahead and just made small talk. She was like, sorry I'm late. I was stuck behind a garbage truck all morning. And I was like, like there's no, I don't know about you guys. My brain's not on in that moment. My brain is on, and it's sad. You know, you don't look impressive in that moment. It's the saddest it's all ever looked, everything. You're like, oh, man, wow. Not that it's ever looked good, but if there was ever a time it's looked bad, then. Just then. And she's like, you're married? And I'm like, what are you trying to say? Like, she's like, I noticed your ring. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. You know, shut up with the commentary. Yeah, then they checked it out, and then I was like, did you see anything? She's like, I'm not allowed to say because I'm a urologist, or not a urologist, I'm the ultrasound guy, so you have to talk to the doctor. I'm like, that's such a weird, because you know, just let me know. And no, they'll call you. And they called it a remote visit. But you know what it was? A phone call. Just say it's a phone call. I put a shirt on thinking it's a Zoom meeting. I got ready for this remote doctor visit with Dr. Zoltan. I put a shirt on, put my contacts in, combed my hair, tried to make it look like I didn't just wake up, like I'm a productive member of society. And he just called me. I'm like, is this it? Or are you sending me the Zoom link? He's like, we can just do it over the phone. And I'm like, I agree, but why'd you guys call it a remote visit? It's a phone call. Why are you? And I'm like, is it cancer? Like, that's all I wanted. He's like, you're fine. We looked at the thing, and both of your testicles have enlarged veins, actually. And I was like, okay. And and I'm like, is it cancer? He goes, no. And I go, shut up. We don't need to keep talking. I don't have an end for that story, but I don't have testicular cancer, so I'm pretty...
Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it, shared it, subscribed to it, hit the notification bell, do all the things YouTube makes you want to do. Other than that, I wanted to let you know that I'm constantly on tour, so go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and see if I'm coming to a town near you. Thank you kindly.
No one lives there. Did you drop something? Is everything okay? Is anyone wet?
Only for you.
Still out, alright? Wow, God is watching. You just dropped that one on me? What do you do? Is anyone wet? Only for you, alright? That would make most dudes spark up, but that made me go, I can't. We have to get to know each other. Shy erection. can already tell this is going to be my favorite one of the weekend. It's going to be an interesting one. It's such perfect time. I don't know if you guys appreciate the perfect timing that just happened. It's not even like there was like a boom, boom, boom. Only for you. It was... Is anyone wet? Only for you! And you're like, wow, that was so fast. John Rickles is looking down, just like winking, just like, yeah. That was fast. So thank you. I feel welcome. Oddly enough, I don't know if you guys know this, but this venue used to be a strip club. And I feel like that kind of energy is just in the walls. To make people yell at us. Oh, he's throwing the Hungarian at me right off the bat. How are you? I didn't understand it, but hoity budge. I am Zoltan, and I got many bitches. That was only for her. That's how talented I am. She just threw that. All I said was, my name is Zoltan, and I need to go to the bathroom. Since that is all the Hungarian that I know. That was perfect. That just reminded me like if my mom was in the audience. That's how excited she gets when I do comedy. Like as soon as I show up, she's like, "It's you!" And I'm like, "Yeah, you knew I was coming." She's like, "I'm just so proud!" And I'm like, "Thanks." You know? My mom's so nice. Anyway, it's very nice to be here. Thanks for showing up. This is great. We're living life again. Doing it. It's good. It's nice to be back in Seattle. The last time I was here was, I think, late February 2020. And I think I was one of the last shows they did before everything got shut down, so they left my name on the marquee outside during the entire lockdown. So my buddy Andrew, who was just on here, he would send me photos like, "Yeah, your name's still on there." So it just looked like I closed the club. That's what it looked like. It looked like I came here and performed, and they're like, "We can't go on." Lock the doors. It was nice to be back, you know. It was good landing at SeaTac, as I always do. It's a great airport, next to nothing. The Seattle International Tacoma something else. SeaTac. It's not in either town. It's good. You're like, which one is it in? None of them. Actually, all the ones in the name, none of them. So fun, even the way they like approach it, like the way the planes come, they take you to downtown Seattle, they're like, "We're here," and they're like, "No, you're not." Landed you in SeaTac, which should be called a $60 Uber ride. That's what it costs. It's not next to anything. I flew in from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I live in San Diego, but I flew in from Tulsa because I got a movie role, and I'm shooting. Yeah, well, you haven't heard it. That's how my friends reacted too. I told them like, "Yeah, I gotta be in Tulsa for a month shooting a movie," and they're like, "Ha ha ha ha," and I'm like, "It's not Fast and Furious, right?" That's what everyone assumes. Like Transformers, Fast and Furious. I'm like, no, it's a low budget movie, faith-based. I'm playing Jesus Christ. I don't know if you heard of him, the Son of God, his only son. That is who I'm playing because the world is weird. It's the weirdest world ever. They're like, "Do you want to play Jesus?" And I'm like, "Sure." And so I've been out there for 10 days, and in the last 10 days, that's the most amount of times I've asked myself, well, what would Jesus do in this scene? You know? How does he order a latte? You know? Because it's set in modern times, and I had to order a latte, and I'm like, you get whole milk. Like, he wouldn't mess around with almond milk. He's a whole milk guy, you know? Would he tip? Nah. I don't think Jesus would tip. I think he would tip if it was a sit-down situation, but not up at the counter where I did all the work, pretty much. You know? I might be putting these words in Jesus' mouth right now, but I feel like he wouldn't tip in those, because I don't like tipping in those. Like, hey, would you like to tip? I'm like, for what? If you flip the iPad sooner, I can put my own order in. I had a weird time flying out this morning. I flew out of the Tulsa airport, which is small, and I was going through the TSA line, and you still have to wear your mask at the airport because it's a federal mandate. And the TSA guy was yelling it. He just had to keep going. You have to wear your mask over your nose to your mouth. If you don't, you will be kicked out of the line. So just do it, and everything will be easier that way. And every 2 minutes, he'd have to start the speech over again because, you know, more people would come in the line. And then finally, I made it up to the front, right where you're about to throw your shoes in the bucket. And there's a guy behind me. As soon as the guy started his speech again, you gotta put your mask in the da-da-da. He goes, man, I hate that guy. And I was like, oh yeah, he's probably tired of saying that line over and over again. I'm trying to like stick up for the TSA guy. You know, it's not an easy job. And he goes, no, that guy sucks. You should find another line of work. And I just went, you know. You know when you want to like end it, but you don't want to argue? So I don't want to agree with him, but I also don't want to disagree. So I just went, bah. That's my get out of a situation motion. And then, after the guy got finished with his speech, he comes up because there's a lady ahead of both of us, and she was taking a long time like getting all the toiletries out, and she was holding up the line. So the TSA guy that was yelling the mask stuff went to the guy that hates him and said, hey, you look like you're ready to go. Why don't you just go right ahead and cut the front? And then I saw that, and I'm like, oh man, I wonder if that guy feels bad about bad-mouthing that guy because he just got to cut the line. And then as soon as I thought that, I realized, wait a second, I was supposed to be next in line. He's right, this guy does suck. He's right all along. Why am I standing up for people I have no investment in? I gotta cut that out. Then I had to connect in Salt Lake City. There's a kid who puked behind me. Yeah, I'm sorry if you're eating. But yeah, this kid did. And that's one of those where you like, you know, I don't have any kids, but I'm back and forth on it. Every once in a while, you're like, oh, that's cute. And then that happens, and you're like, yeah, that happens. You know, because it was so hard. Like, that mom, she was napping, and then she woke up, and her kid's just projectiling everywhere. And imagine that, waking up from a nap. And you're like, huh? Ah! And she just started doing what any adult would. She started cleaning up and just apologizing. Just imagine that. Dead sleep. Huh? Oh my God, no, here. I am so sorry, everybody. I am sorry. And then she gets up, and then the flight attendant's like, we're landing, prepare for landing. So now she just woke up. She's going to clean up the She's got to apologize and prepare for landing. And I wonder, like, if I was really Jesus and I went up to her. Hey, listen, if I could do this and you didn't have to be a mom anymore, what would your answer be? Hard 50-50. I'm going to guess, like, even money odds on that bet. It's so hard, man. I'm 34 and I don't have any kids, so, like, anytime I see someone my age with kids, I react to them the same way when I'm at a coffee shop and I see someone with a PC. You know? And I'm like, oh, that's what you chose. Okay. And then I'm kind of judging, but then they do something cool, like where the keyboard breaks away from the computer and now it's an iPad, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, but then it all crashes, and I'm like, yeah, still not interested. So that's kind of and if you guys know anything about cats, you can't just throw a third cat into a two-cat pride. You can't just go, cat UFC, figure it out. I'm glad things are getting back to normal. I think the pandemic's over. I think it's still, I don't know. It feels, I mean, we're inside, you know. It feels over. This is when I felt like the pandemic was over. I was flying in March, and I was flying back from a gig in Kansas City. and there was a lady across the aisle. She had the whole row to herself in coach, which is what we call first class in coach, when you have the whole row to herself. And she was laying face down in a seat cushion. Yeah, just no pillow, no scrunched up sweater, just face into a butt cushion. And I'm like, I think the pandemic's over now. I mean, everyone has their own, reasoning. But I'm like, for me, that's it. I was just thinking 12 months before, just to go to the grocery store, I was dressed like I was clearing graphite off a rooftop in Chernobyl. Just so I could go in and get some groceries. And then 12 months later, here we are, and she's just motorboating a Delta seat cushion. And I'm like, I don't know about you, but it feels over. I'm vaccinated. I went and got the vaccine, which is good. Yeah, go get them. Go get them or don't. I don't know. I got mine because I wanted it. I just wanted to, I still wear my mask, of course, but I don't need it. Because I got the 2 shots, but if I see a sign that says wear your mask, I'm like, but if you look at my eyes, I'm like, I just give you a look like I don't need it, but I just. But I got the old 2 shots, and everything went good. My girlfriend did not have a good experience on the second shot. She ended up having a panic attack after she got the shot, and it wasn't her fault. It was the nurse's fault. She had a nurse that right before she gave her the shot told her, hey, this is my first time ever given the vaccine. Which I'm not a nurse, but that sounds like the wrong one. Yeah, if I was her supervisor, I'd be like, yeah, lie. Just lie. Lie. Say you're the best at it. No one's going to fact check. Just lie. But yeah, she goes, yeah, I've never done this before. And then she sticks her with it, and then after she pulls it out, she leaves her thumb on her arm for like a weirdly long time. So my girlfriend's like, is everything okay? And she's like, what? Yeah, everything's fine. You're just bleeding a lot more than I expected. And then she yelled for a nurse, like across the area. They're like, hey, can you get that box of gauze? Just bring it all over. So then they patch her up, and then now she's in like the waiting area where I'm at, and she's texting me everything I just told you. And I'm texting her back, I'm like, hey, that sucks, I'm sorry, but you're fine. Everything's good, don't let it go to your head. You don't want to let that go to your head, everything's doing good, you're fine. And she goes, I'm good, I won't let it go to my head. And about 3 minutes later, she's like, it's in my head. And I'm like, are you okay? And she goes, no, I'm dying. And I'm like, whoa, I got you, don't worry. So I got up and I ran, I found someone who looked important. And I'm like, hey, my girlfriend's dying, the vaccine did it. Bring everybody. And so, they brought a doctor and a nurse, and then like a third guy in a suit. I don't know who that guy was. I think he was just the PR guy for Moderna. I think that's who he was. He just kept very loudly going, you felt like this before you came here. Just so that calm everybody else down. And then the doctor took her blood pressure and was like, oh, your blood pressure's really low. You're about to faint. And then I looked at him and I'm like, lie! You know, like, what is wrong with you people? Lie! Lie! And I'm just like, why would you say that to someone? Just say, you're doing so good. You're doing so good. What? I'm not bracing for anything. You're just doing great. She's a lie. But he just looked at her and goes, yeah, your blood pressure, so you're about to faint. My girlfriend's like, I feel it. I feel it. We had to take a wheelchair from an elderly person. That also happened to put my girlfriend into it. When we showed up for the shot, there's an Uber that showed up, and this elderly woman came out, and this nurse was like, hey, do you need a wheelchair? And she's like, yes. And then they gave her a wheelchair. Cut to 20 minutes later, that my girlfriend needs it. The doctor's like, you got to figure out your legs, because this girl needs it. She's about to pass out. So she's in there, she feels horrible, and then after about 30 minutes, she starts feeling better, and then she's fine, and then we drive home. And on the drive home, she's like, that was horrible. I'm so embarrassed. I had a panic attack in front of everybody. And I'm like, you should never be embarrassed about that. That was not your fault. Same thing would have happened to me if I was in your position. You know, if I sat down and a nurse was like, hey, I've never done this before. I would have been like, well, is there anybody else? Anybody. I'll take anybody. Has anyone? I'd rather a junkie from under the bridge. Give me my vaccine. Does anyone here have experience with needles? Anybody? I'd rather a junkie just show up like, yeah, baby, I got you. And then I'll help out. belt back on. Yeah. I'm just getting the vaccine. We're not listening to jazz. So.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching my show, and thanks to everybody that came out to the shows in Seattle. We sold out all 4. Bravo, couldn't have done that without you guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting new content. It's all about content. And also I'm back on tour because the world is opening up. I have upcoming shows in Salt Lake City, Milwaukee, Indianapolis. I'm setting up a show in Chicago as well. And then I'm doing a tour in Texas with my good buddy Dustin Nickerson. We just announced this one. We will be in San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, and Austin. All the information, all these shows is at my website, zoltancomedy.com. And that's it. Oh, also, if you'd like to join my page and support me monetarily, you can do that. Hit the join button right there. It's like down there, I think. It's right there. You can click it, check it out. And I think that's it. Until next time, toodaloo.
What's that?
But I told you to go to Slaps instead.
Okay, what? Oh, you left the comment on Facebook. Yeah, I asked for barbecue recommendations, and a bunch of people said, Joe's, and you go to Slaps. And that was the voice that I heard when I read the comments. That's how I knew it was you. This is my first time working in Kansas City. This is my first time working at a comedy club this close to a subway. So, it's pretty exciting. I like that. Some of you guys are giggling, some of you guys are like, that's how we like it, alright? We like ending a comedy with a footlong. That's how we do it. Go get ourselves a sandwich. So good to be here. This is wild, man. First time in Kansas City. I love this club, just called The Comedy Club. I wonder how long that meeting took, you know? Was there a lot of back and forth? Like, what about The Comedy Club? Like, no, we're going hard That's what we're doing. But here we are inside. I like it. We're here we're in Missouri, right? This is, all right. I have to check. I've been confused since Thursday, all right? I came in on Thursday. I'm performing because this is in Missouri, but my hotel is in Kansas, and I have no clue where I landed, all right? Like, I think I crossed the state line 4 times trying to come from the airport. I don't know where I am. I'm in the fun one, though, right? Like, Kansas City, Missouri is the fun one. Yeah. I remember that because I have performed in Kansas City, Kansas, and I came in with like Kansas City, Missouri energy, you know? You ever make that mistake where you come in like, yeah, and then you realize it's not that, and you're like, I'm so sorry. You share a name with something fun, and I got confused. You know, it's kind of like coming into Las Vegas energy, but you're in Branson. You're like, damn it, you know? I misjudged it. And here we are. So good. Very nice to be here. I'm staying at a hotel, like I said, in Kansas. I'm staying at a Marriott over there. And it is packed like it is some children's soccer tournament. And man, you know, I thought I spent 12 months in lockdown to get rid of all these people. And they're all at that damn hotel in my way. I thought, I'm like, this is horrible, but I will get out of these people out of my way. And they're all there, just looking like Hitler's youth running around, banging soccer balls. I'm sorry if any of the parents are here. I'm sure they're lovely. I'm sure they're lovely humans, but you had to do 4 apiece? Each of you got 4 kids? You kept going? 2 wasn't enough? You're like, nah. 3? No, I like even numbers. Maybe 4. I just went full 4. I'm sure it's different if it's your kids, but they're not mine, so they're in the way. Yeah? I'm sure they're very lovely individuals. I'm sure they're going to grow up to be great people, but right now they suck. And they're all staying at the Marriott. Anyway, I've been having fun the last couple days. I didn't do much today because it was raining, and I live in San Diego, so that means you don't go outside. From what I could tell by looking out on the freeway, you guys just went on living your lives. Because you're used to weather. That's not going to stop you guys, you know? But I'm from San Diego. A little bit of drizzle. We're like, all right, get the sandbags. We're done. Close down the city. Stay inside. Burn everything you got. For now, I'm not built for any sort of weather. What's up, you guys? Welcome. Yeah, they just cleared the table and brought 2 people right in. I like that. Those 2 people left, I think. Right? Yeah, I heard the argument. They're like, they were grumbling. And I'm like, well, I don't want them in here anyway. And then they're like, no, maybe you can change their mood. And I'm like, that's a lot of pressure. You know? Like you got an angry couple in the front, and I got to change their mind with what? You know? I'm just up here giggling. What am I going to do? But we got 2 better couples. Hell yeah. Yeah. That couple that left, they're at Subway having a sandwich. No Chipotle sauce, nothing. Just mayo, please. On white bread, make it light. Good, we got them out of here. We're trying to do something fun in here. I love it. Yeah, well, I've been touristing all the last couple days since I got in on Thursday. It was fun. We went around the city. My girlfriend came with me. Yesterday we went down to the West Bottoms. Yeah, we checked that out. That ended up being fun, which is cool, but initially terrifying, you know? Like, it doesn't have, you know, it's a classic don't judge a book by its cover situation, you know? Here's how we got there. My girlfriend was looking up, like, thrift stores to check out. She's like, I found this one. It's in the West Bottoms neighborhood. And I was like, cool, let's go. And then we come over the freeway comes, and then you just see it, and I'm like, wait, is that it? And she's like, yeah, it's in there. And I'm like, oh, all right. Wow, okay. And it's open? It's in business? Everything's functioning? And she's like, yeah, it says. And then she's scared, I'm scared. I'm like, we'll just drive through it, you know? We'll see if anything happens. Because it looked scary. It looked like if the end of a Monopoly game was in real life. That's what the West Bottoms look like. You're like, oh, yeah, you're losing in this game. You put too many hotels on Baltic Avenue and you're paying for them in the long run. But yeah, that's what I told her. I'm like, we'll just drive through. If it's scary, we'll just keep on driving. We're all right. We're in a Nissan Altima. We got enough ponies to get out of this quagmire, you know? But then we were driving through and I saw, looked in the windows from the car, I'm like, hey, there's a hipster in there. I think we're gonna be all right. And we had a great time. We went to vintage stores and coffee shops and all that. It was great. It was a perfect white person's afternoon. You know? That's what I'm into. I think that's what my people are into. We like going to a place that's hey, there's a sense of danger, but you're not gonna get hurt. You know? It's like indoor skydiving. You know, you're just like, woo! Well, we're not dying. Everything's good. Just a sense of something, you know, but we'll be alright. So I've had a great time in your town. Underrated. You guys don't get brought up enough, I think. More people need to talk about Kansas City. Had barbecue at Joe's at the gas station. Yeah. That's right. No one's been able to tell me why there's 2 pumps outside. I was like, you guys also a gas station? They're like, what do you want? And I'm like, I guess we're not talking about it. My girlfriend's asking me questions, like, why do they have gas? I don't know. The foods? What's that?
But I told you to go to Slaps instead.
Okay, what? Oh, you left the comment on Facebook. Yeah, I asked for barbecue recommendations. And a bunch of people said, Joe's, and you go to Slaps. And that was the voice that I heard when I read the comments. That's how I knew it was you. Because when I read it, you know how sometimes you read it and you can hear the person's voice? That's who I heard, go to Slaps. And I'm like, all right. I'm sorry, we ended up going to Joe's, but there's still time. I'm going to go tomorrow. All right? Mainly because your recommendation felt a little threatening, so I'm gonna go to Slaps, I'll try them out. I'm very easy to please though. If I end up going to Slaps, I'm sure I'm gonna love it. And if someone's like, which one do you like better? I was happy, whichever one's in front of me.
You know? I'm one of those people. I don't have like an educated tongue, I guess. Like, I love whatever's food in front of me is right now. You're like, which is your favorite barbecue? The one in my mouth. That's the best barbecue I've ever had in my life. I'm having a great time. What about this one? Now this is my favorite. That's just not it. I don't know. I feel like the tongue of a 7-year-old. I'm just like, this is great. Mac and cheese, this is gourmet. Hell yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for watching, and thanks to the people that came out to the show in Kansas City. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you want to support monetarily, look into joining my channel. There's 3 different tiers, $1.99, $4.99, and $9.99. Go check those out. But more importantly, live comedy is back. So if you want to know if I'm coming to a town near you, go to my website, zoltancomedy.com, and sign up for the email list, and I will send out monthly blasts on where I'm at. And if you don't see your town on there, leave them in the comments section, and I'll do my best to come to you.
I think the key is just to be happy no matter what. I think that's what it is. I'm sorry, is that too positive? 10 of you were like, yeah, and the rest of you were like, I don't care for that positivity. Because it's Christmas, but it's not, right? I think we all know Christmas died in 2019. And for the last 2 years, we just talk about him like our favorite grandpa. Do you remember when Christmas was here? Because we know it's not over, deep down inside, we know it's not over. I haven't looked at the stats of the virus for so many years. I looked it up, and I was like, how many people have died of this thing? And worldwide, over 5 million people have been killed by it. And I think we can all agree it's not nearly enough. We've all been out, we've looked at who survived, and we got a ways to go. We got a ways to go. And I think the longer we get comfortable with that, I just enjoy the small things. I stay at home, I watch trash TV. That's what I do, alright? My favorite trash TV show, Selling Sunset. Alright? Sunset fans, these are my gals. Alright? So my fiance and I watch. She started watching it first, I'm like, I'm not watching that. And then it was like on in the living room, and I'm in the kitchen, and I'm like, what's she bitching about? And then next thing I know, I'm 4 seasons in. Selling Sunset, going, that damn Christine. She has a chair purse. What's she doing with a chair purse? Now, there might be some people here that have never watched Selling Sunset, and I'll explain the show to you. Selling Sunset is like if Keeping Up with the Kardashians, if everyone on there had to get a part-time job. That's what it is. Like, imagine if Kylie and Kim, they're like, you know, we gotta start earning our keep. And what they do is they're realtors for $1 million homes, and they pretend that that's a hard job. They really pretend. There's a lot of mimosa breaks. They're like, it's so hard. It's so hard. I have to show these $1 million houses to these millionaires. And just going, will you take it? I don't. It's a gorgeous house. It costs $10 million. You have a lot of money. Do I even need to be here? I feel like you guys could just Carvana this situation. I hate how they pretend it's a hard job. They're just gorgeous women selling gorgeous houses to millionaires, and they're just like, I'm working. It's not hard, alright? Show me an ugly realtor in a bad neighborhood. That's a good salesperson. Give me someone who looks like a foot going into a bad neighborhood and trying to sell a house to me. You know? Look, you don't have enough of this place. But you like your mom, right? You like your mom? Go talk to her. Alright, I'll stop making eye contact. I know my face, but we'll get you in here. I don't know. It's so weird. And you know what else is weird about that show? There's so much drama amongst the women. But like after the
first episode, I'm like, you could solve all these issues by hiring one HR person. That's all it takes. They're the only business alive that doesn't have an HR person. All it takes is one sad-looking person to come in and go, no more talking about personal life, ladies. We're here to sell homes. You're right. You're right. But that's more fun. Thank you for the applause break on Selling Sunset. It's a great show. It's a great show. I love it. I don't know. I like that we still argue about things. That's good. I don't know. I like that we're divided, but I think sometimes, like the show Selling Sunset, if we just had one good HR person, we could figure out a lot of the issues. Maybe you need to be the HR person for America. I have some good ideas. All right, I actually have one good idea, which you guys may hate or love. I don't know. But it seems to me like the two biggest arguments in America are guns and abortion. That's it. Some people want to have their abortions, some people want to have their guns, and we just can't agree. They're just standing there with guns, and I looked, I don't know if you guys have looked, but we have an even number of states. Did you know that? We have 50 states. It's a good old even number. Well, what if we just made 25 abortion states and 25 gun states? Well, we can all be happy. Everyone can go to the state of their choice. You're like, I really like my guns. Yeah, go over to that state. I accidentally banged the nanny. Come over to our state. And we're all together. I don't know. Good night, everybody.
Enjoy it out here. Love it. Like it. It seems safe, you know? It doesn't seem like there's that much crime. Except for last night, we tried to get some White Castle downtown. And yeah, well, none of you told me. Yeah, we also didn't ask. We were hungry. We had done 2 shows. It was late, and our hotel's down there. And I was like, oh, baby, have you been to White Castle? And she's like, no. I'm like, it's going to be a treat. And boy, was it. It was a treat. We pulled in. Oh, my goodness. What a circus of humanity was going on out there. Wow. Ripley's Believe It. It's not happening right now. It was crazy. As soon as we pulled in, a dude was pulling out. He had just gotten his food. He gets out of his car and just pees. He was clearly intoxicated. He had just gotten his food, and he just put the hazards on in the drive-thru lane, because you don't want anyone to ram into you, you know? Put his hazards on, just came out. My fiance saw that and goes, he's peeing! He's peeing! I'm like, yep, yeah, he is. And then he wanted to get back into the car and leave, but he couldn't because there's a dude in a wheelchair missing a leg just blocking his exit. And then, so now the peeing guy's honking at the dude in the wheelchair without a leg. And then Emma goes, can we get out of here? And I'm like, we can't, he's blocking us too. I've never seen a dude in a wheelchair block 2 cars going 2 different directions, but he did it good. White Castle. Downtown Louisville. Go somewhere else, you know. Should have hit the suburbs a little bit. Went to a Waffle House.